Okay.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you do it? Okay, he did it.
Okay,
He
get
did it.
serious. Does anyone remember what happened last time on D&D?
A bunch of shit.
I severely don't. So much has happened.
Severely don't.
Severely
Yark joined the
don't.
party.
I'll always be honest, whether I remember or not.
I have a moderate not remembering.
Too much shit
on.
has happened.
Yes.
Oh, we fought the
Yark.
fucking mantis.
Was that last time?
Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy?
Isn't that the
That was
girl?
last time, right?
One of them, yeah.
I guess so.
One
Yes,
of the
it was.
last times.
Yeah, I think roll
Mhm.
20 itself is just fucking shit in the bed. So I can't.
I couldn't delete or add images, so
I just
I
reset
don't know what's
it.
going on there.
Okay, there it goes. Like I wasn't able to resize my fucking screen.
Madness.
Yeah, I just had to refresh, and now it seems to be working right. Yeah, I do recall fighting that fucking crazy mantis thing that was like fucking us up pretty good.
It was. You fucked it up back though. You really severely limited its options with
Oh,
some
yeah.
smart gameplay.
I always fuck back.
Mirror Force. Last time you arrived in the Tabaxi homeland, a great rainforest-like jungle, alive with flora and fauna, history and intrigue. You met an old friend, accepted a bounty. Tracking down the great mantis was no easy task. Well, before that, you
Yeah, we were
had a
talking
party
to-
member leave and a party member join.
Yeah, we got this job from the what is it? The U20?
The bounty board.
How do you pronounce that?
Wanti.
We got it from the
Monty.
bounty board, but we saw Simeonti.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they had requested help with the mantis as well because it was hunting them, right?
No, there was a big bird that hunts them. They said they don't care about the mantis because it doesn't really mess with them, but because we helped them with the bird, they gave us direction.
You skipped some content because you helped some locals out.
Gotcha.
We helped the wontons out.
The wontons. That's totally what they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new party member. You met in Bright Sun again. You accepted a bounty. You've set into the great jungle, tracking down the mantis. When you finally found it, the fight was a dire one. But you prevailed, eventually carving up the mantis. The mantis after it had done the same to you a few turns previously, and painstakingly brought it all the way back to the nearby city. The city, of course, called Lakes.
Hey, oh yeah.
So, arrived. You had you had the main quest, but you weren't sure where to go with that. You might have to do some research. And you had a couple of interesting looking bounties you guys were feeling out, as well as having talked to in Bright Sun, getting a little bit of the lay of the land and the culture. So if any of those are of interest, but for now, you guys have arrived back in town, beaten, bloody. Um, I think Yark was carrying its head or something like that,
Yeah.
or its heart,
Yeah.
liver.
Head.
This is
Yeah,
head.
he had the head.
Yeah. I was dragging it by its mandibles back.
Yeah,
You guys,
can he make a pair of dual wield weapons out of the mandibles?
That was my question.
Oh God.
that
Patches,
is
do you have something? Your like sound is on in roll 20. Kill it.
Hang on.
Fire.
It looked
Oh,
like the
always.
rest.
I always mute him from Roll20.
Yeah, I mute the site.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never even messed with roll 20's sound.
Yeah, I'm
Can y'all
pretty
hear-
sure I
How
just
about now? Is this
muted it
better?
years
Yes.
ago.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, what were you saying?
Um, I had wanted to see about making armor out of the
Ah,
Uh,
yeah.
carapace.
So, well, you guys got back late at night, so a lot of places were closed. Do you want to try to make camp in town, or maybe see if there's a tavern open, or
They're like 2 hours in the middle of the night where everything's open because
yeah,
there's cats.
yeah. You pass by the midnight action. They take like a long siesta. I'll wake back up and go back to sleep. So
Yeah.
but now you're in the second sleep.
Yeah. There's that 2 hours where everybody just wakes up and starts doing that fucking crazy run
Just
around shit
dancing
where
and
they're
shit, yeah.
bouncing off the
Yeah,
fucking wall and
knocking
shit.
down lamps and
It's
stuff.
the time all of the football games occur.
The one guy who's asleep gets his feet attacked.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we.
Uh,
It'd probably be
yeah.
more preferable if we ask a local where a tavern is that has an inn.
Would I know where a open tavern is since I've been here for like a week or
Oh,
so already?
yeah, you have been here a while. There is a couple of taverns. Uh, the Traveler's Son, which is SUN. The Stepping Hoof. Um, are you looking for somewhere friendly to foreigners or something more native? What are you looking
Um,
for? Anything closest one?
I've spent some time here trying to get me jollies off in any way I can. Which one was the most fun?
Probably the sun.
Yeah,
That could
the
that could
Traveler's
mean
Son.
fighting, that could mean fucking. It's up to you.
Traveler's Son is right by the docks, close to where you came in. It's a hub of foreigners that are visiting, as well as locals, and kind of the rough and tumble. Like there's a lot of fishermen. Good amount of action goes on here.
Yeah, let's go to the sun.
The sun is dark. Time slow, steady. There's only a very old, white-haired tabaxi who is surprised to see you enter as he was mopping up the floor, but he beckons you inside, offers you a room, a 1 silver apiece.
How big is this head that I've been dragging around?
It's massive, large. Couldn't fit it through the doors.
So it's just outside.
Yeah, I guess. What do you want to do with it?
Yark's like one
Well,
of those dogs that has the stick that's too big to fit through the door, and he just
after I
keeps
after I
walking.
try it 3 or 4 times and it won't work, be like, it, can you lot keep an eye on this for me?
Good God, what is that? He says.
It's my prize.
It's my prize.
Sir, I don't think anyone's going to be touching that, much less moving it.
What if I give you a shiny to watch it?
Uh, I can do that. I can do that.
All right.
Don't bring any part of it inside.
All right. I was gonna snuggle with it, but all right. I will dig through me pack and grab one of my pretty shinies. Let's see. I think I will give him one of the silver pieces. Be like, here you go.
He will gladly take it, very sure that no one is going to be running off with the dripping, disgusting, heavy head of an animal that is kind of outside. Uh, any other business?
No, I mean, unless you guys had something to ask him, I'm gonna pay for a room and
Yeah, I'm good.
You guys got
sleep.
plenty of wounds to lick. Getting some restorative sleep. You maybe stitch together a couple of ones that are still suspect. Maybe I mean you guys are old pros now. Get a bottle of hard liquor and pour it on a wound. Grit
Oh
your
yeah,
teeth.
yeah. I do buy a bottle. or buy me a bottle to be able to go to bed with.
Okay, sure. That'd be 3 bronze for a low quality.
All right. So I'll just
If
give
you
him
even
another
want
silver because I don't
don't,
I don't
yeah,
have any of those bronzes.
barely worth worrying about.
All
Um,
right. How does it taste like shit?
yeah, it's not great.
It's
This
perfect.
this far away, it's real hard. You get kind of a sake like. They have a rice that they can grow around here. They don't have a lot of good like hardy grains or hops or anything like that in this climate.
They don't have goods, they have bads.
Kind of a really salty sake.
I had a sake drink last night. It was terrible.
Yeah, they're really not good. You know, your weeaboo, or at least my weeaboo, is like, oh, dude, sake, but
It
it's
was like sake and coffee, and I was like, oh, it's going to
oh
be
my
mostly a coffee drink.
god,
It wasn't mostly a coffee drink. It was mostly a sake drink
I
that
was about to say,
tasted like someone who drinks coffee regularly breathed on it.
that sounds so bad.
It was so bad.
Nah,
I've
you got
had
to get them
It
sweet
was
one
ones.
$12
sake.
for
I've
so
had
bad.
I've
God,
had several sakes that were actually decent, but it always ends up being way overpriced for what it is. I'm like,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I'm not a beer person to begin with, so it's just already bad.
oh yeah, I'm a beer person. I fucking beer and whiskey and all the good stuff.
well, you guys have plenty of wounds to take care of, maybe a little PTSD, who knows? But the night passes mostly without incident. You wake in the morning to a much livelier sun. Um,
All right.
Lots of fishermen getting ready for their day, having a drink before leaving. Not always alcohol, but usually. A lot of travelers, woodsmen, a lot of tradesmen building in this area. It's a very constant sort of ebb and flow of the tabaxi land. They build into the jungle, and the jungle eventually, like harms their buildings and their structures, and it's just a constant fight with the wildlife in this unconquered land. Um,
Very Wookiee Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk.
Definitely, absolutely.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
You guys awakened?
Yeah. I rush
Anything?
downstairs and check on me mantis.
A crowd surrounded your head. Quite a few tabaxi. See a human in the mix, and a lot of tabaxi children. Quite cute, little fur balls. They're all kind of marveling at it. And one of the tabaxi children is poking it with a stick, getting the green, red, kind of rustish colored ichor that's been pouring out. It's blood mixed with like other fluids, creating this kind of wide gambit of greens and reds.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there any what? Yeah. Is there any way I can like sneak up around behind and like get behind the head where they can't see me?
They, you could give me a stealth check, I guess.
This is gonna be great.
Aren't you like a Goliath?
What else?
He's a what
I might as
elf?
well be.
Or whatever.
Uh,
I guess it's the whole mentality. I keep thinking you're a Goliath.
yeah, yeah. That's where most of his personality came from. That's a 10.
Mm,
So I very
you,
obviously try to sneak behind it, and then I pick it up and start operating the mandibles with my hands, and I go, I tell the little kids.
well, a few of the kids kind of see you passively, but as kids are wont to do, they're focused on their task and sort of ignore everything else around it. So quite a few of them give a startled ah and run, though a few did see you coming. And everybody kind of like some of the older people in the crowd give a hearty laugh, but they also take a step back.
All right. So, all right, already, people. This is mine. Don't run off with it. I'm gonna go eat me breakfast, and I'll be right back. Go back inside.
An eclectic breakfast is served, something you probably wouldn't enjoy back in the homeland, most of you. This kind of fruit and fish dish doesn't quite go with each other, but it is food nonetheless. What's the plan for today?
I want to head to where the library is and do as much research as I possibly can about the land and any potential information I can get for where our next uh, string could be.
I think that is a great idea. What about the rest of you?
Not sure.
Oh. All right, I'm back.
Hey, there's side quests you were looking at. There's cats to pet.
We could go kill that big snake that's in the woods.
Oh yeah, that would be fun too. Add to me collection.
Wasn't that one of the quests?
Well, yeah. Well, no, sort of. It wasn't one of the quests given to us, so to speak. It was just mentioned by the. Or wait. Did they mention the mantis was the killer of the Wanti, or I can't remember now. It surely was. It wasn't the big snake.
The
It's
mantis
it's
was
just a
killing.
predatory bird, like a
Oh,
heron.
it's a bird. Oh, my
Wait.
bad.
Did we already kill it, or did it get
No,
away?
we
No,
didn't.
you stopped this ambush. It's not like this
Oh.
huge monster like the mantis is. It relies on stealth and the Wanti like getting away from each other, and it kind of jumps them like a panther would.
So it's not like ginormous.
No, nothing like that.
So it's just like a pelican, or what are we dealing with here?
Albatross.
Like tiger size, like about as dangerous as a tiger is to a human. You know, like a group of 5 humans, the tiger's not going to approach. But if it sees a tasty snake all alone, it might grab.
alone.
It's like it's heron-like. It has these long legs and these sharp dinosaur-like feet, perfect for fighting with snakes. You know.
Perfect for nabbing.
Patches, you had business in town, right?
Oh yeah, about the armor.
Let's deal with that first. Unless anything else comes up. Deal with plot later. So you want to do a lot of things. Oh, you guys also have to turn in the quest, unless you don't want to. Don't let me persuade you.
Oh right, yeah. So we could do that. Wasn't there like something else that y'all came here for?
I don't remember.
I'm looking into that.
Okay.
The main
Something
quest.
about a main quest and places
Oh
of
yeah.
power with deities and fucking bullshit. I don't know.
Sorry for the for not muting before you guys heard my wonderful speech.
We mostly ignored it.
Yeah, it's true.
It was great. All right. So yeah. I guess drag this fucking head over to prove to whoever needs to be proved to that we fixed a problem.
I mean, that works for
Quest
me.
has you turning it in at a hunter's lodge. Being it's such a wild land, there are several of these. This one called Sweet Bird for unknown tabaxi naming reasons. Something literal happened in its creation. Nonetheless, a large house, this sort of strong bamboo and wood and stone conglomeration that the tabaxi seem to favor, has these strong kind of open air houses, windows open, no doors. You see tough looking tabaxi here and there talking with each other.
They're all
The
licking their
tabaxi-
balls. That weird leg stretch thing. They're all doing that.
Yeah, I got the leg up.
One laser light around here and it's done. You see the tabaxi in their analytical, curious way have the walls the lodge, kind of splayed out with pelts and tusks and bones of various things, kind of categorically set up, and see almost like whole creatures formed. There's like a bear-like creature with his pelt and claws up top and leg bones at the bottom. Pretty interesting. Uh, there's a solid black tabaxi, dark black fur, um, working as sort of front of the building, as it may be, and she's kind of doling out um, bounties and orders and what's been troubling local workers and stuff like that to the lodge participant. And Yark, are you going to try to drag the whole head into the building? I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Just
don't
give me a
want to
strength check.
leave. Just to check.
Yeah,
I mean, the real question is why wouldn't he try to?
I figured he would.
Oh, fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. I rolled a 1.
Stuck fastly in the doors. The large head does not fit. In fact, half the party gets in, leaving half the party behind. It's blocked by this door.
So now I'm
Now
doing
with a
that
mantis
thing where
head.
I'm trying to back it back out, but somehow it doesn't work. Like it won't go back the same way that I tried to bring it in. So now
Yeah,
it's just like stuck there. And I'm just
couch into an
getting more
apartment.
and more angry.
Pivot! Pivot!
Yeah.
No, back your way! Fuck! Pick up your side, son of a bitch! God damn it!
So
Yark's saying all this to himself too.
Boy, you fucking son of a bitch!
what are you guys gonna do about this conundrum?
I'm just gonna kind of gonna watch.
Get help.
Yeah, I could.
Could. Any other bright ideas from the party?
I'm gonna give this one more try and then I'm gonna rage.
You've caused
And
quite a fuss. You
it's
see some
coming through one
tabaxi
way or the other.
on the left and right of you trying to shove it and try to help you get it out of the doorway as you've completely blocked up their egress. Give me another strength check to see how stuck this thing is, possibly permanently.
That's a 10 total.
Let's see how
I
the
rolled
tabaxi does.
I rolled a 5.
Let's see how your help does.
Nat 20.
Yeah, it's like damn. I did all right. I mean, it's not like it's fastened into the stone or anything. It's just you hear a squelchy pop, and the sort of big plated head section of it bends inward a little bit, and it finally pushes out of the door. You are free to try again if you are going to, or you could just leave it there.
All right, everybody get in. I'm about to make a run for it.
I'm just gonna whistle a tune and give him bardic inspiration.
Okay. The supposed leader, or at least someone in command today, you don't know the structure of their whatever, this ebony black colored cat. Female, she's got this leather armor on, this affixed with all these like bones and filigrees and trophies. Looks very, very tough. Very well worn to the nature. She says, stop, I see it, I promise.
Well, I don't want to leave it outside. Somebody might take it.
I don't want it inside.
All right. Don't have to get all whiny about it. Fuck.
Does she hiss?
She's like takes a step back to her desk and she takes another look at you, make sure you're not trying to go again. She walks all the way back to her desk and she kind of beckons you over.
I think about trying to pull it in, but then I just go drop my head in defeat and walk in. We've
She says,
killed
I see it. I see it. Bounty completed. I promise. I trust you. That is the largest mantis god I've ever seen. It must have been quite a fight.
Yeah, I guess.
So depressed.
You depressed because you can't get the head in. You don't have to listen to this cat. You know, you got free will.
They're gonna get all mad at me, and then they like start putting their backs all arched up and shit, and just becomes a big pain.
Yeah, the back fights really funny.
And you do not want to hear the noises they make when they get mad.
Says, well, good job. The waning moon is still upon us for quite a while. That thing could have turned into a real problem with strangers. Your reward. As soon as I get to the. Oh, yes. He pulls out a small brown leather sack, puts it on the table. It is a bit heavy with gold. You assume 50 pieces worth. She says, more importantly, the real reason to entice warriors like yourself, I'm sure. She pulls out this wrist guard. Oh, goodbye, someone.
Someone died.
Who died?
Who was it?
Oh,
Forrest.
yeah. He wasn't talking. Yeah, maybe he might be busy.
I'm back.
Maybe his mic was messed up.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't heard him at all, so he might have been trying to talk and not working. You
He
there?
talked at the beginning. Forrest?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Like my computer just kind of shit the bed real quick and just I don't know if maybe something happened with the video card or something, but it's all went black for a minute. So
Oh,
Well,
wow.
you were quiet. We didn't know if you had been trying to talk the whole time and then like got fed up or some shit.
no. It literally this. I was sitting here all of a sudden, everything went black and y'all cut out. It's like, oh,
Oh, fuck. Oh well. All right. Shit. Yeah, bracers.
Yes, she says, the real reason to entice warriors like yourself. And she kind of goes into her desk and pulls out a large leather bracer for the arm. Upon it are three of the huge forearm bones, sharp and kind of curved slightly. You kind of go all the way to the edge of the bracer, and when you put it on your arm, it'll be a leather bracer through your forearm, and it'll have these three bones that are holding fast to your arm. It says a prize from the last growth of the mantis god. It is all yours.
All right. Well, what does it do? Is it,
This is a gauntlet of the mantis god. Tuning to it gives you the feat cleave.
ooh,
Oh my.
what does that do? I don't even know. That sounds
It makes
fun,
your
though.
painful shit hit other people.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
You can make an attack against foe within reach that cleaves into other foes. If you hit, you deal damage normally. You can make an additional attack as a bonus action against the foe that is adjacent to the previous foe that is within reach. At 5th and at each additional level, you can make an additional attack against the foe.
Can I get one of those speedy like disclaimer things at the end of that?
Does anybody want that?
I'm not mostly melee.
Yeah, I'm not really melee either.
I melee occasionally, but
But that's like the most fun, is because then all of their entrails end up on you.
Yeah, but if I didn't heal you, then how would you still be alive?
Well, I don't get healed mostly.
No.
Garrett's just glad I switched to war cleric so that I don't have to screech disadvantage every combat.
Yeah, this is
I'll
way
be back in
better.
a sec,
Banish, banish, banish.
I can banish as a fucking fire cleric.
Said
Yeah.
Gauntlet of Cleave.
It's called Gauntlet of the Mantis God, and it gives the feat cleave on attunement.
Trying to figure out how to get this into D&D Beyond.
Thought about
I'm a
multi-classing.
pen and paper Chad myself.
thought about putting that level we just got into druid and like doing the whole like thing where the druids believe in fire being sort of like source of rebirth,
Definitely. That's thematic.
or warlock, and then Kosuth can just be the patron.
That
But
would also be very thematic.
yeah, I don't know.
Or you could be a mushroom druid and just for no reason.
Just for no reason.
I decided I like mushrooms today.
Okay, pitch. The heat's up with. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's like this whole mantis god bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? Was that an actual god we killed?
Um,
A minor
in
one?
the in our history, before sense and reason, many worshipped the great giant mantises that grow in the waning moon as gods of destruction and power. We know better these days, but they are still revered and feared as a wonderful teaching tool of the dangers of the jungle and the powers of the waning moon. And as such, he has kept his name. Every few generations, the mantis on this island will, on this land, will coalesce together and kind of fight and breed into this larger and stronger being until, with the power of the waning moon and their incessant evolution, this great giant will come forth.
Whoa, what? So we fucked up something pretty awesome, huh?
Yes, definitely. This one has been one of the largest in record and has been a huge problem for the the local carpenters and woodsmen and adventurers.
Fuck yeah, you got any more gods that need get killed?
Well, there that is.
The waning moon gives many opportunities to test your mettle, and if anything comes up, you will be the first to know. I assure you. Just don't bring it into my office, please.
I mean,
Where should we bring it?
Outside the doors are fine.
Oh yeah, all right. Yarg, you can leave it right there.
but I want it.
Yeah, but you can leave it right in front of her door. She says cool.
But then somebody's gonna take it.
No one's gonna take it.
Some people almost took it this morning. I had to shoo them all away. You didn't see it.
I probably will never see it. Let's go.
I really don't want to leave it.
Well, you don't really have a choice now, do you?
I think I do.
No, you really don't. Not this time.
I think I can keep up with y'all while dragging it.
You can.
I try.
You're gonna leave it there? Or are you gonna drag it along with you for the rest of the game?
Just for the rest of his life.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try drag it. And if they start getting away from me, I'll leave it behind.
You have this great albatross of a thing to carry, and as you drag it along the ground, everyone kind of looks at you with surprise and confusion. And as you're toting it, the slick of organ onto ground. You're leaving behind this trail as it gets like smaller and smaller. You're grinding it down to its component parts.
Ah,
What else do you guys want to do?
it just looks so cool, guys.
It does. It's like dinosaur-like almost. A mantis head, but it has this great big plate protecting it.
Well, if no one needs anything of my services, I'm gonna go check out that library.
Indeed. Thought there were a few other things we want to accomplish, but I guess not.
Felt like I had things, but again, it's been 2 weeks and don't remember.
Souffle, there is indeed a great library in the city. Open air, several streets worth of books, some built into the trees or hanging from suspended shelves, some in more traditional bookshelves, some just in big piles. The kind of wild open air style of the tabaxi is relevant here. Um, there's no like contained building for their knowledge. It kind of just sprawls out from a central point. Um, the dexterous tabaxi are adept at this sort of thing, jumping up and getting onto ledges and pillars to grab a choice book or climbing up a tree to pick a spot that they would like to browse, but it's a little more difficult for foreigners, but otherwise open to you.
All right. Excuse me. I'm gonna look for anything that would be related to mysterious lore or uh, historical events in this land, or
Give me an
anything
investigation.
mythologically added. It's a 22.
Pretty good. The Tabaxi are nothing if well categorized. They keep all their stories and lore close to the heart and have them well denoted. You can kind of find a section that's dedicated to lore and the old gods, creation myths, stuff like that. Holdovers from a more wild time in their history where people were less about scientific endeavors and more about mysticism and magic. At least the less that they understood, more assigned to things that they were just ignorant about before they really mastered magic and really mastered the stars and stargazing, stuff like that, making sea charts and all that. You have all these sort of ancient beliefs and rituals to what this means when you're sailing, and you can do this for good luck, and every tabaxi should do this on this day, and you kind of get that feel. These ancient kind of lore scrolls. Nothing too mysterious, but you do notice something. Some of the rarer, more important books are kept in containers or special uh, leather-bound sort of protective coverings just to keep the elements away. So the older and rarer they get, the more protected they are. And indeed, there is a sort of big square table propped up against a shelf, and there's a glass square protecting a book within it. And it is kind of locked fast in place.
Um, I'll look around for a curator and see if there's any way that I could possibly get a look at this book.
Give me a perception check, just for fun.
23.
Yeah. You were actually approached as you were looking around by a seeming librarian, very old tabaxi with a wispy white cat fur beard that kind of blows in the open air, um, the warm air of this jungle climate. Seeing a foreigner poking around the library, he came over to help. As common, hello, young man. Can I be of service?
Uh, yes, curator. I know I am not from this land. I know that I may not have the privilege of getting to understand some of this land's lore, but I'm hoping that you can help me try to understand some things that not only will give me more insight into Tabaxian culture, but I also, my own personal mission is to kind of record and spread, the stories and myths, kind of traditions of different cultures alive as along my journeys. I'm I am part of a bardic culture. I went to a college of lore, so I'm and learning of individual species and their cultures and their history. And I notice that some of the books, the older they are, the more care is given to make sure that they're maintained. I noticed that this is the only tome that is encased in glass. Is there any potential way that I could actually take a look at it?
Oh yeah, a noble, noble endeavor that any Tabaxi could respect. I understand your goal and your will to do so. More than you may know, it sounded very similar to myself and my goal for my life. I I respect your endeavors, but I'm afraid I cannot. That is our oldest book, the creation myth of all Tabaxis, one of the first ever recorded words to page. It is incredibly fragile. We dare not take it out for any reason, even to, uh, even if to re-record its great events would even be too dangerous.
There's there's no other fabrications of it, no nothing else that that information residing in it would be stored anywhere else?
Not that I know of. In prehistory, it was considered sacrilegious to make copies of it, which is a bit of a problem for historians like us, as you can see. So we are very fiercely dedicated to its protection.
What if I'm able to repair any damage that's done to it?
Uh, I've heard that you bards possess certain magics, but I would not trust it. It is my duty to protect this book from the elements. I'm sure there's many other tomes for you to browse that could be just as helpful.
I'm back.
See, I'm not so certain if there are
I didn't know you left.
any other tomes that could help me. See, excuse me. What I'm looking for dates back to a connection to a different plane of existence. And so far, any of my searches have come up that nothing has any relation to this. And I believe that this one particular book would give me the insight I need to help us stop from this plane merging into our own current one.
He looks at you with a raised eyebrow. I'm certain that you believe such things.
I'm certain you think this happened.
Complicated and mystical as it sounds, I'm afraid my answer is firm. He kind of pats his chest, and it's like this key to the lock must remain closed. My my solemn duty and honor. But I apologize for the answer I must give you. I hope you can find something else. He turns to walk away. He's not one to be convinced right
Hmm. So the question now is, should I do a Paragon or Renegade?
now.
You want me to rough him up a little bit?
No, that's not going to be necessary.
There's a
Hmm.
trick to it. You gotta grab 'em by the throat and then punch 'em in the gonads, like just repeatedly. Even after they start puking, you just keep going at 'em until you like hear popping noises, and then you can stop.
Here we go. Uh, I'll quickly walk up beside him and, sir, please, this is something that is far more than just my own belief. This is something that is from visions that I've had. One of these connections is here in this land and not very far, and I need to see exactly where and what we need to do to protect it, or else there may be some type of militant incursion crossing here, and I can promise you from experience, no one here will be able to be safe from the foes that will walk this land when they come. And I really would like to suggest that you let me see that. Now cast suggestion.
What's your
Wisdom
save?
People
18.
know you're casting suggestion.
He goes, and he says out loud, I cast suggestion.
Yeah, he says it.
I think with stuff like suggestion, it's one of those things
You
that,
suggest a course of
like,
activity limited to a sentence or two and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you.
yeah, it's something that they wouldn't notice
It
unless it actually just
it must be worded in such a
they
manner as to
pass.
make the course of action sound reasonable.
So what you're saying is that every time Yarg speaks, he's casting suggestion.
In a sense.
I think
What's
that would
your reasonable suggestion?
be reasonable.
To
That's
maintain
be worded.
to maintain the lore of this land, so that way it won't be lost in any type of event of natural or man-made disaster overtakes this fine establishment.
That's kind of vague. Him maintaining the lore is keeping that book out from the open air and grubby foreigners' hands reading it.
Yeah, but if war comes to this land and the building's destroyed, it's lost.
You would have to like suggest that war's coming, and he has to believe that,
I did.
and then suggest that. Well,
Telling
like
him
three
that if we
suggestions.
don't stop this, a militant race coming to this land and they won't be able to stop them.
Is he the only one here?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. Course of activity limited to a sentence or two. Magically influence a creature. So we're thinking like physical activity that he can do, getting more into like big beliefs and core values. You have to simplify a bit.
um, I'll tell him that.
Trying so hard not to banish him. Oh.
Well, no, he's got the key on him, so if you banish him,
Sir, I don't want to have to murder you, but I
I'm
will.
trying so
that
hard.
if the knowledge within that book can help not only uh, keep the lore alive, but also a possible war to this land, the, the amount of delicate handling will be extreme. And that anything in that book will hold the knowledge to help make sure that there is not any other type of plane merging with this one and cause discourse across the entire planet.
I didn't hear an activity to do in that sentence anywhere.
Oh, sorry. That I need him to and let me read the book to prevent all of the aforementioned things.
I think I can work with that. That sounds. Let me read the book. You cues onto the verb, kind of
Let me read.
robotically says, "Read the book. Allow you to read the book." See, kind of nodding to himself like he's agreeing with something that has just been propositioned to him. Takes the key out of his necklace, or takes the necklace off his neck with a little tassel that's tied to the side. Takes the big iron key, and there's like a lock that's keeping down this two sections of iron that are connected through the glass in one section. It's not the safest thing, but people don't expect to steal a book necessarily. Good enough. Unlocks it, removes the metal slat, pushes the other one back, picks up the glass. The book is revealed.
You wouldn't download a book, would you? You wouldn't banish a book, would you? Actually, don't think I can banish a book.
Surely not.
Surely not. A sweat bead goes down Garrett's head.
Oh, I took this new feat. It's called Banish Anything.
Banishing books.
Um, I
Like when you
will
told me about Legend
find
Lore.
I will
Like, what?
find the nearest table
Okay.
and make sure that the table is completely cleared off, dry, no external elements on top of it, and cautiously flip through the book.
Give me a dexterity check.
Straight decks,
For no reason.
17.
It's pretty good. You're careful. It's a very old book. Even just flipping the pages does sort of damage them a bit. You can feel the inner linings,
Flakes.
the back, the art, what's it called, the spine, sort of kind of giving and tearing, and some of the page ends
I hate doing that to old
tear,
books.
even just in your hands, much less turning the page. But you're careful. Nothing rips out. Nothing that is too dire. Problem number 2, written in the Tabaxi language. Real problem for you necessarily, but yeah, I must state it.
Yeah, not a
Comprehend
problem.
languages. He
Exactly.
screeches.
And I do. I cast Comprehend Languages because I can hear and read any written language that I see. But I must be
Speaking in
touching the surface
old,
of which the words are written.
you must be what now?
I must be touching the surface of which the words are written.
Yes, yes.
And he is.
The old Cholton, the Tabaxi language, its dialect ancient and even hard to understand for the best scholars, is revealed to you through the power of the arcane. Um,
His power of love.
um, reading through it, you, the book talks about a long and detailed creation story of the Tabaxi gods, Tezca and Zaltek, sun and the moons, respectively. Eventually, you reach a passage saying that one of the key figures of Tezca and Zaltek, their firstborn daughter, is alive and protects the Tabaxi land as we speak. She controls the earth and the sky and the winds, and was said to live in a great volcano in the center of the continent. A crudely drawn map is shown, an ancient version of the Tabaxi homeland, and where now there is a great lake, there was once a huge volcano, monstrously tall and wide. This information revealing that the Lake of Clouds, as it is called, is actually a crater lake, long forged in shape and furnace of time. The book says that the true Tabaxi warriors are taken into this volcano when they die, descending down into the lava safely, arriving deep below in the lair of the gods.
Hmm.
Okay.
Rather,
So we're looking for a hole.
I'll try to make a sketch of that map and note directions on where to go for this. All right. Old volcano, no longer active. It's a crater lake now because it's dormant. Lake of Cloud. I don't know why Lake of Cloud sounds familiar.
There's somewhere I can look to find the rules for cleave.
Uh, is there?
Sure, Googling.
It's not. It's not
It's
showing
probably
up
just.
in the
I think
feed.
cleave is a feat.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not showing up in the feats on D&D Beyond. I don't know if it's like in a book that I don't have access to, or I'll try Googling it.
I'm on 5e SRD. I don't know if that connects.
Yeah, I just typed in 5e cleave feet, and that was the first link that came up.
2 whole
All right,
feet.
I'll look it up.
Two
Continue.
feet.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like I've heard Lake of Clouds somewhere before, but I'm gonna try to look into the book a little bit more.
Give me, uh, maybe an investigation, perhaps.
That is
How many about
a
tree fitty?
21.
Really, you're not familiar with this area, but the map shows this in the center of the continent, enormous volcano, this truly monstrous beast, if you can go by the drawing, which seems to be pretty to scale. It was done well for the time period. Um,
This isn't a volcano we've visited.
um, you'll have to think. Um, it was a volcano in the ancient time period that this was written.
Oh,
So what it is now?
it's a caldera lake.
Hmm.
I mean, it's it must have worn down or something. Oh.
Perhaps Pitch is honest.
Pitch should be a geologist in the game.
It's
I
almost
really
like
do
Pitch
wish.
was in school for that a million years ago.
You have to put the lens of time upon this thing.
So it's the world wound?
Hmm?
It,
No.
Really?
it may be possible it's one of the world wounds.
No, we made the world wound a volcano for that thing.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
was a volcano
way
as well.
across the whole world.
It's the world pimple. It's the other world wound.
Well, there's only one big lake you're familiar with in Tabaxi Land.
Mm,
All right.
where they get all the fish.
If there's nothing else that I can really get that's pertinent to this one thing, I will spend the rest of the time that I have this book and comprehending languages, which is a total of an hour, kind of transcribing it into common
Hmm.
for like a backup.
It's a big book. An hour is not that long a time. You can kind of get through Genesis, basically. We're just talking about how the sun and moon danced, and were lovers, and then fought against each other after some slight, and just kind of like Romeo and Juliet style uh, creation myth that the Tabaxi have. And now it's these opposing forces. It's like masculine and feminine, sun, moon, left, right, bad, good. These two opposites in all things. The sun and the moon are represented by them, and they're each respected equally. A lot of Tabaxi creation myth and lore that if you wanted to know more about, as you describe, transcribe it. But an hour, not that long. Can't get too far.
Yeah, I get like I can read one page a minute.
Hmm.
All right, I will do that and put it back in its case.
You do so. Perhaps a little worse for wear.
I will put it back on the shelf and approach the curator.
Ow.
Uh, I thank you for the privilege that you've given me to look through this long ancient stories and give insights that I may be able to continue the heritage of the Tabaxian culture.
He says, of course. The war, the coming war, must be prevented. Yes. He kind of says without really knowing, only saying.
And I will leave with a copy of the map, its instructions, and starting that backup tome.
What are the rest of you doing with your time? Surely not as productive, but is there anything you wanted to accomplish?
I'm sitting in the Kosithian temple naked, going home.
Did we agree
Was
that
I
there's a Kosuthian temple here?
I think we were like, yeah, they fucking love him.
was I able to keep up with everybody while dragging Manta's head?
Yeah, I mean it's a leisurely pace. No one's running, so you're able to
Oh
kind
yeah.
of drag it around. You only got
Maybe
a
I'm
couple of
thinking
more
of
hours before it'll be light enough for you to just pick up and hold it.
I might be thinking of New Brevoy.
So
Yeah, Neighbor boy.
I guess I just sort of sit outside this. I guess he's in like a library type situation.
Yeah,
Like, and just like kind of playing with me mantis head, sort of working its mandibles,
yeah.
being like, "You were super strong. You ripped me head off."
Like
And then
reach deep in there and kind of move its mouth muscle a little bit so it's talking like a marionette.
Yark, are you taking up ventriloquism?
what?
It's the act of making inanimate objects speak while you speak for them, but they can't see you speak.
No.
No.
You should give it a try sometime. But
I'll
had you
think about it.
have you been here the entire time?
Yeah. What?
Well, where are the others?
I don't know.
Well,
I've been playing with me head.
Oh.
alright, well, uh, I've got some information to share, so why don't we go round each other up and uh, finish up with everyone's wants that they decided they need to have today, and we can meet back on the ship and discuss this some more.
Oh, the flying ship?
Yes, the flying ship.
Oh shit, yeah. Where's everybody at?
Oh.
I have no idea what the hell's been going on, before I returned in that short span. So
I guess
He's
I'm not on in the Kosuthian temple since there's not one. So
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
I'm
the
just
tough
in the
part.
streets naked, going oh.
As he's
Putting
trying to
matches on your
fight
dick.
off them fucking swatting at his junk like it's a fucking play toy.
Just batting at it.
I guess I went back to the ship.
Okay.
Oh, didn't you want to get some armor made out of?
Oh yeah, I did want to see about the armor.
So out of the ship.
Yep, I guess so.
Just you were searching for a blacksmith.
Well, I was searching for an armor crafter who could possibly turn the
I would
pieces
assume
of
it'd be
the.
closer to like some kind of leathery. I don't even know what the
Yeah, I
fuck
don't
you
really
would
know what it would
consider
be.
that.
A tanner?
What do
Maybe?
you consider chitin?
Yeah.
It'd be just like an accessory, pretty much. Um, yeah, there's plenty of like leather workers, and I don't know what you would call someone that works with like natural armor. Is there a name for that? I don't know, but there's plenty of those around because that's kind of one of their main resources.
I think
Um,
in WoW it's still used by leather workers.
leather worker,
Yeah, probably so.
pretty easy to
'Cause,
find.
yeah,
There's plenty
I think
around.
I think they just kind of like weave it into the leather or whatever.
I have
Yeah,
to
I would
describe
assume it's
me what
like,
you want.
Hmm. I don't know. I forgot what I wanted.
I mean,
I know that I was trying to. There was some reason behind why I was doing it, but I can't remember for the life of me why.
because it was fucking awesome. That's why.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not. There was like a reason, like a usability, a utilization
Think
to it.
that is thick?
Uh, I guess just to make some armor to add on to what I have, or go for. I mean, fuck, I don't remember. I can't remember to save my life.
What the fuck are you even wearing right now?
Um, let's see. Leather armor.
Give me an intelligence check for memory. Your character knows.
Your character knows, but you sure fucking don't, Patrick. Oh yeah, that was a 4. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think Bardic Inspiration's saving you from
Sad,
that one.
Does no one
sadly
else
no.
remember what Patches wanted to do
He
in
wanted to
in
look at
character?
Other than like the actual fucking mantis itself, I feel like had some kind of weird resistances or whatever that he wanted to gain
Yeah, it
I
was
access
something
to.
remember,
like that.
but I wanted you guys to
It,
help me with it.
like a +2 armor or something from it.
No,
I
I
don't
thought that it had
remember.
some kind of benefit, like making armor out of it had a benefit. I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
I thought it
I
was just higher AC, honestly.
Well, it's been a while, so I forgive you.
Thank you.
Uh, you wanted to make natural armor for your little gremlin. I do forget his name as well.
Oh yeah, Gregory.
Gregory, yes. I knew it was a G somewhere in there. And two,
Gremlin.
make mantis-based weapons, some sort.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So, um, both of those can be accomplished.
Okay.
The leather worker, uh, a bit of a custom job. It'll give a +2 natural armor bonus to Gregory when he's wearing his mantis
Yeah.
armor.
Woo.
Less of an armor and more of like an accessory sort of thing. Pet rules and all that. But it is still a difficult and custom job. He's asking for 300 gold.
I will pay 300 gold from my man to get some good armor.
It'll take a
Amazing.
little time to get it done. The mantis claws present a more interesting. The weaponsmith you talk to, uh, let me see. The weaponsmith you talk to, a hulking tabaxi, massive arms and shoulders. Seems to be a lifelong weaponsmith, armorer, using his great strength for his trade. He's kind of an orange-red colored fur. He gives you a big friendly smile as you walk up. Says, greetings, foreigner. What can I do for you today?
Well, I've got some giant mantis parts, and I'd like to see if I can possibly make some kind of weaponry from what I've got.
What I got.
He says, mantis. Interesting to work with. Fragile, yet hard in some places. Meant for killing, not surviving. But what you have is different. Kind of takes these huge blade forearm monstrosities. They're almost sword-like. Um, they're all bone and sharp edges and jagged points. Um, he says, I think that would make very interesting weapons. Um, he says, I could make you some light fighting weapons with them. There's only so much you can do with a mantis's weapons. They'll be light and dexterous, something you put on your hands and kind of strike like the mantis would. About as best you can get. A sword would be far too brittle. The first time it contacted a shield or armor, it would shatter. But
Makes sense.
something more deadly I could make. And he says, or I could make something really interesting with it. Maybe give it more of a duelist stance. Something that would make you a peerless fighter. Uh,
Like what? I mean, like what?
Basically, he says with something like this, you can get a standard weapon set for 100 gold, or he can use his great power of this random smithing ability that I generated to he can make your weapon enchanted.
Okay. So wait,
Um,
so it would be like a fist weapon?
Yes,
Hmm.
granted with a property.
I think I'm gonna go. How much will that be? How much would it be for that?
An enchanted weapon costs 2,000 gold.
Well, I can't afford that.
I would give it to you, but I don't have it.
Yeah, yeah. All I have is 1,000, and I mean, fuck. That's.
All
Ugh.
right, we'll get your scratch with the diamond heist.
I'll say. For now. How long will these pieces last that you can still make something out of them? Like, are they something that will last for a long time or, a short while?
Certainly, until you break them, they'll last.
No, no. Well, like not like the items after they're made. I'm talking about like the parts that I'm handing in.
Yeah. We're not playing Breath of the Wild here. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll say let me think about it and I'll try to come back with you soon.
Okay. Sounds like a fun task. I hope you come back.
Me too.
So, Garrett, where they keep diamonds around this joint here?
The Tabaxi have no love for gemstones. They use gold to barter and trade, as they are forced to do just to live in society. But they trade in lore and secrets and stories and adventure.
Fucking boring cats. I need
It
diamonds.
looks like I'm right up that alley for y'all.
Yeah, you'd be a popular citizen here.
I don't know if you were in the thing before you weren't in the thing. Um, I have a resurrection spell I can do now, so
Oh,
I do need diamonds.
might not be able to find them here.
Yeah, it's okay. Nobody die or do. I don't
It's
care.
pretty hard to die in 5e.
Uh,
I think I have tested that more
I
than
Yeah, you're probably
anybody
close.
I don't
else.
know. You gotta remember we had one campaign where Patrick died 3 times.
Yeah.
Hashtag ice knife.
That's kind of the fun part because you get to make a new character.
Yep. I mean, I did enjoy that campaign a lot. So.
I was into your frog brothers. I thought that was gonna be cool, but you guys did last
Oh,
a fucking
dude, we lasted like 2 sessions or
Yeah.
one. I
Wow.
don't remember.
I
Oof.
died at like the beginning of the first session.
Yeah.
Or yeah, the end of it, I mean.
Big
What?
oof.
Yeah.
All I remember is it seems like it was pretty close to whenever I joined.
Yeah.
Y'all were still talking about one of you had recently died.
Yeah.
Ah,
I think we
yeah.
had first or second session, and then you joined. So it was
Yep.
pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent so much time.
I
I'm never deleting that fucking character from my
wanted
D&D.
to be Frog Brothers,
Oh.
We'll be resurrected in another life.
and then killed subsequently.
Uh, um. So where to now?
We're
Good question.
going to
What do you guys
kill
want to do?
gods, right? That's the last thing I remember.
I mean,
While I guess Yark's with me on the ship. While I'm on the ship, I'm trying to kind of transfer that map onto a larger scale.
Interesting. Okay. Feel like that's something that Souffle would be good at. What about the rest of you?
Doing nothing
um,
productive.
I'm gonna find like a safe place on the ship that I'm sort of claiming as my own, where
Hmm.
I bundle up random shit that I'll fucking be sleeping on, and I'll put those fucking both sets of gauntlets that I'm hanging on to now. I'm gonna shove them in all of that. The Thundering Gauntlet and this gauntlet of the Mantis God. I'm shove
Yeah,
those
lots
in
lots of
there
gauntlets these days. Too bad you
and
can't get
kind of
both.
hide them in there.
All of
Well,
mine.
the the gauntlets of thundering are kind of situationally I could use. The cleave ones, like just at my level, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like I'm not getting any benefit by trying to use them.
You don't like attacking multiple enemies?
I mean, I get to do that already, and it uses a full attack action to activate, and then you use your bonus action to get the second attack, and then at level 10 you get 3 attacks, which I already get to do just normally. But if you use cleave, then it's dependent upon you hitting the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of it's not useful to me until I hit like 15th level, at which it could be useful.
Hmm.
But yeah, at 15th level, I might start using them. A little bit of
Maybe.
metagaming there, but I gotta do something to keep my damage up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if you guys encounter a bunch of trash mobs to clear out.
Bunch of
Well,
trash.
like I said, it's like it's all dependent upon me hitting my first swing, and like
Mm-hmm.
even if everything works out to where it works, like as it stands right now, I would basically be gambling on whether or not I would get the same thing that I would get if I just attacked normally without
Mm-hmm.
doing that.
Yeah, probably not the best weapon for your type.
Yeah, I'm kind of like if you've ever had a hamster where hamsters like kind of make a pile of shit and then they sort of start hiding shit in that pile.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Is
You got
like
several options. There is a crew quarters, but if that's too close to everyone else, there is a storage area that you guys will
I,
potentially put
whatever
stuff.
feels the most open is where he wants to be. Like he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like feeling confined in small spaces, so he tries to find the most open spot, and then he just picks a corner to be in that open spot.
And kind of this wide, the belly of the ship is this wide storage area, and it's just you and your rat pile and three
Your
big
rat
square
pile.
boxes that you guys got from the last ship.
But yeah,
I will be carving toys.
As you're walking to the ship, Patches, in bright sun is awaiting you. He goes and speaks to you. I think I'll take up your offer.
My
I'll do my absolute
God.
best, but again, I can't promise to be any help in a fight.
That's okay. We have this guy over here who seems to like to murder everything. And we just want you to have a nice peaceful life. We just want you with us.
I am happy to be with my friends once again.
Yay!
All
Catman.
right.
Well, in Bright, it saves us the trouble of having to
Shave your
ask,
balls in your sleep. I mean, no, what John was saying.
from having to ask you to kind of cater us to a location, but since you're going to join us, your expertise of these lands will greatly help. Do you know anything about the Lake of Clouds?
Let's see if he does.
Super knowledgeable.
He do.
Wow. I knew
Um,
it.
let's see. What does he know? What does he know? Hmm. Let me think. Let me think. I need it. Uh. None of these are good. Uh. He says, yes, yeah, Lake of Clouds. Any Tabaxi would know that. That's what they, uh, our ancestors called the Great Lake, plume on the sea.
Off we
There's a
go.
there's a very large lake in the center of this peninsula. Um, Massive. It's almost an ocean itself.
John.
Typing. All right.
Plume of the sea. The Tabaxi are so literal with their names. They probably saw plume on the water when they were mapping the land or something like that. Who knows?
Well,
Silly cats.
that that's fantastic.
He says, "What do you need with the Great Lake? You're not taking up a fishing expedition, are you?"
We don't know,
Of
but we're gonna
some
go there.
sorts.
Aren't we like killing gods or something?
Uh, whenever he says that,
Wouldn't
and
let
I,
him know.
I, I reply to him, uh, I start going through and explaining to everyone what we, as a refresher, what we know about the strings, what our vision was from seeing it back in Heartspring, and the knowledge that was written in the book, and the connection between, you know, everything about how it has to line up to what that location we saw, and that we have that's more than likely going to have to be where we need to go to prevent the next string being broken.
Whoa, I thought we was like killing more mantis gods or something.
No, Yarg. If we don't prevent these strings being broken, then there will be a god that we will not be able to defeat, and a bunch of his minions that we may be able
I,
to defeat.
I don't think so.
That, yeah, I do believe so. However,
I mean, I've heard that before. That like, oh my god, you can't kill me. Blah blah blah. I'm a moted some things like that, and then you just like you hit them with the hammer, and then they die.
Yark, have you ever fought a demon?
I don't know. I fought Strode. What was that?
That I don't know what that is. That's I don't.
He was a toothy fucker. I don't know. He really liked he wanted to rape the shit out of this chick. It was a whole fucking thing, and like I put shit on my hammer and fucking put my hammer in him, and
The fucker.
it was a whole thing.
Okay. Well, needless to say, demons themselves are not something simple, and if this White Knight army is aligning themselves with these demons, and they seem to be just as difficult to fight as a demon itself is, grant maybe, what would you say, three or four of them is equivalent to fighting at the time when we fought 16 of Sybarex?
What now? What level?
Like three or four
What's
of
the
them,
equivalent?
three or four of them at the current time is equivalent to whenever we fought Sixian or Sybarex.
Hmm.
In terms of uh, like at the time when we fought those two, they were just as difficult as us fighting like three or four of the White Knights now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So let's go fight some
Relative.
white
Yeah.
knights, right?
Kinda. Regardless, though,
That's what that's
it
what we're doing.
well, some that's the current army that's going through trying to find the other strings and killing the supposed avatars that are connected to them. keeping the demonic plane out of ours.
You're talking a whole lot, and I didn't hear yes or no.
Let's go to the
Uh,
lake.
Yep. Don't worry, you'll get to kill people. How's that?
And Bright Sun is
Yes.
like, so you want me to take you there?
well, yes, seeing as
Yes.
you are our new helmsman for the ship, the first tabaxi to fly a completely automated airship.
Not yet. He's not. Zataran, weren't you pilot? Who was piloting?
I
Who was
wasn't
piloting?
piloting.
It was Garuk.
What it was?
Garuk was Garuk was piloting.
You guys gonna have to spend some time. Kind of a teenager in his first car. You know, very slow. There's nothing to hit in the air, thankfully, but you do have a couple of bit scary moments where he's not quite used to the dexterous uh, controls that kind of respond to your hand as though you were holding an orb. It's sort of 360 control, and then the slightest movement attunes to a pretty dramatic shift in the ship itself. So there are a few moments where you're kind of thrown suddenly, and you hear like a "oh, sorry," uh, but in a daunted back and forth kind of way. And Bright Sun gets his feet under him, and you are off to enter the great Tabaxi continent. And indeed, you see the jungles below. You see the wild landscape of this land. Um, the deep, dark jungle, thick, uh, impassable, alive with flora and fauna. Um, as the vendetta continues towards the center of Mastika. Um, you see the various races. The Yuan Ti have these kind of like clear-cut spaces that they control. No tree is allowed to live. They have this great flattened land um, where they keep their towering sort of cylindrical housing, wooden sort of things that benefit their snake-like sensibilities. Not fans of the treehouse style that the Tabaxi like. Um, you see great nests of what the fuck is it? Notes. Where's the side quest? What the fuck is this guy's name?
Where's my notes? I can't see
The
my
ant
notes without my
people.
glasses.
Line.
Line.
Ant people, you said?
Yes, there's one of the three main races are an ant race. The Thrykeen. You
Oh,
see
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah,
great
yeah.
mounds, kind of just barely sticking out of the ground. This blight, this kind of blemish on the land. You can only assume that they're massive, uh, ruinous hives have carved out tunnels under the ground, and probably this huge expanse of madness in the Thrykeen. They're huge populace. Um, But you didn't interact with any of them. There was a quest for it, but you guys chose not to. Probably a good thing.
We did fight some on the way here. Didn't
I
we?
was going to say, weren't they the ones in the ship that we had to fight
No,
off?
those are tick people.
Yes. Different race.
See, I don't forget everything.
Those are weird. Yeah, those were barely sentient. They were just hungry. Regardless, towards the center of the continent,
Like
you indeed
me.
see uh, a huge Great Lake. I've never been to any of the Great Lakes, but you see it and it goes on and on. It feels like an ocean. Makes you think if this is small compared to an ocean, how fucking big actually is an ocean? It's this massive lake with these shocking like inlet cut edges to it, like going around like serrated edge to a blade almost of these rocky outcroppings. And you see there's even like small islands here and there. This is where you passed on your first trip, and indeed in the center of the lake there's the great whirlpool. if any of you remember that.
I do recall.
Uh,
Wasn't there a storm going on?
No, it's just the whirlpool, I think.
maybe.
I thought there was like some type of storm that was active.
I don't remember. There's not today. There's no like permanent storm or anything like that. Oh.
Hmm. I take a nice deep breath, sprout wings, and I go up in that whirlpool, boy.
You didn't even ask how high above the whirlpool we are. You
Yeah.
know,
I don't give a
just the
shit.
fact that we just see
I
a
can fly,
giant
bitch.
whirlpool and we're no comparable size to what
I
it
nosedive.
is.
Straight down to the abyss.
Lake Superior is 31,000 miles squared.
Damn.
That is really large. That's a lot.
That's
Big
pretty
lake.
big.
Big
Pretty
lake.
big.
Yeah, you're pretty high up. You you release your inner fire and sprout these burning crimson wings. Uh, Inbright Sun is kind of shocked at this. He says, "Do you want me to go a little lower?"
Like, nah, it's cool. I can fly.
Where do you fly to?
James moves falls for
I
another
fly
12 miles.
straight into that hole, boy. You know what I'm
Never
talking
one,
about.
never one to have any doubt or fear. Pitch descends into the maelstrom. Um, Pitch the water. The edges are safe. It's so huge, this whirlpool, that you have. It's not very dangerous to any ship that, for whatever reason, ended up near it. It's hard to. It's easy to miss in this huge lake, right? But um, it's so huge. The edges are relatively safe. You can easily escape. But as you get close to the center of this giant thing, the pressure and the weight and the speed of the water is immense. So much so that as soon as you let your beautiful wings down upon it, descending into the water, prepared to swim, you are grabbed like a fist grabs. What's a good metaphor?
Like
Like
a child, like a 1 year old baby grabs your dinner,
like a
like
toddler from a
lightning.
broken home grabs a baby kitten.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god. Fuck, Garrett.
yeah.
I don't know. You're
So you're
grabbed
saying
very, very tightly.
Aaron has
Um,
seen this firsthand. I see.
so what you're saying is that someone is shaking James
yeah, yeah.
ferociously.
Spinning him like a top, in fact. And you are grabbed. There's no save that could possibly save you at this point. You are in the belly of the beast. You are grabbed and taken down. Um, you Uh, yes, you are ripped asunder. The speed and power of this thing is incredible. The dark depths uh, are you're dragged under the water, such a force that it feels like a free fall, but with pressure on each side squeezing you down deep into the dark water, down, down, down. You feel your consciousness fade as the water, the pressure, and the movement force. The movement force robs you of your consciousness. The rest of you, the pitch commit suicide. What do you do?
Man,
I take my hat off and hold it to my chest.
I'm gonna go kill his horses.
What the what the fuck just happened? Like, did
Uh,
that fucker just like sprout wings and like fly down into
yeah,
nothingness?
he's part angel.
James is just sitting there
Pitch
having.
is a brave man. Any mystery or puzzle or anything, he's just gonna smash through it.
Embright, if you
Well,
could please bring us a little bit closer. If the ship starts to feel like it's being sucked in because of air pressure, back off a little bit, if you will.
Well, he does get a sense that can't get too close. He gives it a good like 200 feet up. And it isn't
mm,
pleasant, but quite survivable.
All right,
Uh,
fellas.
Does it look like he went into something in particular?
Looks like he disappeared from the face of the earth, which he did.
I take a javelin
I
out
just
and I
like all of the.
fling it
Is he
down
all
it.
right? Is he dead? Fucking guy.
Two of us know for a fact that this is normal. The other two
um,
don't know what the fuck to think.
Souffle, indeed,
So
you hearken back, though you're not
there,
sure if
she's
Pitch
putting up
knew
there's no point.
all of these details before he jumped in haphazardly, perhaps emboldened by the belief in Kosuth, but you remember reading, Souffle, that true Tabaxi warriors would descend into the lava of which it once was, safely to reach the realms of the gods.
I've been in lava before. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
All right, let's drop that ladder off the side and climb on down and go in as safe as we possibly can. Though at the current speed, I don't, and it being water instead of lava now, I don't think there's really going to be any type of safety to it. But less
Wait,
of
we're
Getting
a
close,
going
higher
down?
impact.
getting close to the maelstrom is deafening. The water moving with such speed and ferocity that it is a white water rafting in this concentric circle, localized so close together that the pressure and speed is immense. Uh, Souffle, need that final consent form to jump off.
I look over at Key 2, and then I look over at Embright's son. Embright, make sure that he does not stay too far from the ship. Key 2, keep an eye out for him. Help him look around. See you
He
on the
gives a
other side. And I fucking just fall straight back into it.
he gives a pained sort of reptilian squeak as you leave him, jump into the maelstrom, it grabbing you instantly towards the center and pulling you down uh, into the water, into the darkness below, as though you never were, barely making an indent on the water. Uh, your very existence erased.
He
What about the rest?
gone.
What about the rest of you?
Seeing that, I was like, oh, what is that? What we're doing? So get back, get a little bit of a running start, and cannonball. But I would hold my nose with my
Yeah,
fingers.
it's wise.
Give me
Cannonball.
give me a performance check. He either
Uh,
cannonballs or he messes up and jackknifes horribly wrong.
I
oh my
probably
god.
jackknifed. That was a 6.
Belly flop.
Yeah, I completely missed my legs, and I'm doing that thing where you're flailing on the way down, trying to get everything right, but still holding onto your nose the whole way down.
Uh,
Uh,
I mean, I guess that leaves me, right? And Forrest.
Yeah.
Might be the only two that survived this.
Oh, Zeta ran entirely. This is his fucking.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
his
fine.
jam.
he's a watermancer.
Well, no time like the present. I take my barrel off and kind of just put the contents that I don't really need, anything extra off to the side.
Mhm.
Turn it on its side, start rolling it, and then I hop in it so it just rolls off the side.
And he screams, "Come on and slam!" and welcome to the jam.
You, as you
All
look
right.
up, you see the concerned and shocked face of Inbright Sun, your new cat friend, as well as Dathis. What do you do?
I'm gonna. You talking to me or you talking to Forrest?
You, Dathis.
Oh,
Forrest
okay.
is in the water.
I'm gonna turn to Inbrate's son and say, "Well, if we die, you get to have all of our stuff." And then I'll jump out of the door.
Like, aim for the bushes.
Yep.
The pressure.
Thank you all for playing. That's the end of the
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah,
Pathfinder,
that'd be
let's
awesome.
go.
I'd be like, Garrett, you fucker. Rewind, you bitch.
That was a instant kill trap. I did not think you would all dive headfirst into it.
You guys are all morons. I can't
Let's-
believe
let's-
this.
Let's be
That was,
real.
I mean, that was a thing back in the day. There's like spheres of destruction or whatever. If you touch it, you instantly die. No saves.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I played
Sphere of
Tomb Raider.
annihilation. Sorry.
Yeah, Sphere of
Yeah.
Annihilation. Yeah.
I had a friend stick his head straight into one. It's like it's like you see the inky blackness within this hole in the wall, like no light past it. I want to stick my head in and see what happens. All right, well, Ace is dead.
Yeah.
Just sticks his head in, and his headless body slumps to the floor.
Wow. That is horrific.
That was like 2 minutes in,
Yeah.
like the first fucking hallway that happened.
Why
Oh,
would
yeah.
you put that 2 minutes in?
That was the
It was
horror.
Tomb of Horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gnarly fucking.
Yeah, you'll fall into them and stuff,
ritual.
dude.
Well, if they knew it was that and then he made that decision, then I don't know what
Yeah.
to say.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You were
we probably
dragged
blamed
under the
him.
water with such a force that it feels like free falling. Like I said, it feels like you're literally falling from a cliffside, but you're underwater and you're spinning with this immense pressure, just cracking your bones. You can't even move your arms out at all. Consciousness is ripped away from you. In what feels like no time at all, though you don't know for sure. You all awake coughing and sputtering in a huge room made of chiseled gray stone. Above you, see the water of the Great Lake through a massive hole in the ceiling, though no water flows in somehow. The dark depths are black sky of darkness, but you see the occasional movement from a huge fish. The room is surprisingly spacious. The gray stone meticulously designed, each square having some strange filigree or abstract upon it. In this room, large, strange trees grow, a sort of bone white, ashen, wide and maybe 12 to 15 foot tall. Their ivory branches produce a blue, apple-like fruit that glows in the darkness, giving the room a warm, subtle light.
You know, look. Touch the trees. Do the trees feel like they're made of stone?
No, they seem organic, though not something you're used to. It has a ruddy, rough texture, like almost like construction paper, but it's hard like bark, and it leaves an ashy gray residue on your hand.
What about the glowy apple?
How you gonna get him? How you gonna knock it down?
Or can I just like jump up and grab one?
They're like apple tree, like 14 feet up in the air. You can't. That's a big jump.
So we're not in water anymore. We're like
Pretty
under
good
the
jump.
water.
Yes, somehow.
So like that scene in Moana.
Yeah.
Is there a fucking crab that's about to come out and sing Under the Sea?
I mean,
I was supposed to sing "Shiny."
Shiny.
That's
I'll
part
just
of
throw it
the.
out there that I'm pretty good at jumping.
It feels like an underwater coffin, almost, with this large, square, uniform stone, and there's all these strange trees within it. It's quite bizarre.
Garrett, if we fight a fucking crab that's from Flight of the Conchords, I mean, I don't know how to react.
Pardon me. What's our new friend's name?
In Bright Sun?
In
And Bright Sun, he didn't join you though.
No. The
Yark.
used to
Oh,
be
Yark.
Garrett.
Yark.
Yarick. I'm gonna ask him, Yark, do you have any magical items attuned to you?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, his mace, I believe.
Painful
Is
shit.
that it?
The bracers.
I don't really know what that means, but like, I got this really cool hammer that's called Painful Shit, and like, I really like it, and I sleep with it every night.
Oh, it takes an
Oh,
hour to
yeah.
attune, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay,
Yeah.
never
You-
mind.
You gotta like lick it and taste it.
Date the
lick
marble.
it and claim it for your own.
Mm-hmm.
I licked it, it's mine.
I mean, like, whenever I first got me hammer, I slept with it, I peed on it, and then I slept on it again, and then it was mine. No big deal. take it from me, so I'm pretty sure that it's mine.
York, I mean, you could like shoulder the tree really hard and try, or throw something up there, but I do need a method to get the apple down.
I want to jump.
Don't be your way up there.
I
Too
think I
tall
can
to jump.
that high.
Really?
I could get it.
I got an athletics +10. Is that good?
Damn.
I feel like
I
Jumping
want to
is
try and climb
really
the tree.
easier ways.
Jumping is really dumb.
Yeah, I
in
was just gonna say
5e.
I was gonna aim at the branch and shoot
I was
Eldritch
about to
Blast.
say I can literally
Sure.
just have my pet go up there and get it for us.
Anything works.
Anything. Just for the love of God.
We
I'll
just
pick
need a method.
I'll
Just-
pick a different
just
tree and kind of
The
shoot some
method
off.
that you said.
I'm gonna roll to
jumping is really
climb,
dumb,
Okay. Good.
and I have
Jark, is-
advantage on climbing checks
Damn. Why do you have advantage of climbing check?
because I have gloves of
fish.
swimming and climbing.
Oh, yeah. Swimming part, I get. But yeah, it's kind of
Hashtag
unnerving.
tick- TikTok.
have fingers. It's wearing gloves.
It's almost unnerving how fast Sataran gets up the tree. Because you see a fish standing near a tree, and the first thing you think is like, that fish isn't about to climb the tree, and then
Don't judge a
Up the
fish
tree.
by how fast he climbs. Like, God damn,
Yeah,
look at him go.
think that Einstein or whoever the fuck allegedly said that.
You just hear this really weird plapping noise just from the tree.
Wet slapping.
Well, look at him go. Damn.
You guys collect a handful of these lightly glowing, sort of blue apple-like things. They're almost shaped like bell peppers, almost, but more circular, and they're blue and they glow.
Can I lick it?
Sure. Tastes fruity.
I ate it.
Tastes
I got 3 of them. I just rolled a
Okay.
d6 to see how many I shot off the tree.
makes sense to me. It tastes very good. It tastes like a really, really solid apple. You know, like a prime in its life apple.
Oh, these good things are so good, guys. Look, this is amazing.
Of all the things that Pitch would do,
Is your stomach exposed?
he is.
Yorick, are you wearing a midriff bearing shirt?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just a loincloth.
Did you? If you look in the Discord,
So that's
Like
canon.
that,
What you're wearing.
like- yeah, basically wearing a loincloth and like a little bit of hide on me just to keep me shoulders and stuff warm.
Somehow there's a very slight glow coming from your belly. It's very, very slight. You don't know how in the hell that's possible, but it is.
Yark.
No more
Slight-
sneaking for you.
A slight glow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense. I just ate the glowy apple, so it just stayed glowy. Oh, do you think that whenever I take a shit, it's gonna glow too?
Yark, possibly.
I wish I didn't have to think of that, but now I do.
I'm not eating this fruit.
Make me hammer glow, guys.
So this is nothing more than just a stone room. There's no entrances or exits other than the way we came from the top.
Give me a perception check, Zataran. Pretty good. Zataran, you do indeed see something that sticks out, even more so than strange trees and their stranger fruit. You see, the square room is empty, save for the trees, as I mentioned, and the strange stone filigree, giving this room a huge coffin-like feeling, being kind of trapped. Despite its immense size, it still has this claustrophobic sameness. Save for 2 huge doors on one side of the room, each very, very tall, almost reaching the many-storied ceiling. The doors, closed, are beset with a beautiful scene: mixed stained glass, relief carving, paint, and dye. The scene shows a beautiful woman near a stream. In one hand she holds a fruit that she feeds to a gentle-looking horse. In the other she holds a falcon who sits perched on her hand calmly. Her hair flows like red fire, and the serene scene around her harkens to a perfect picnic summer day.
Is Dataran the only one that's seeing any of that?
No, it's I mean,
I'm gonna point it out.
there you go.
Alright.
They're
And I-
huge. they're like taking up the whole side of the wall on this like square horizontal thing. So it's like this beautiful cathedral-like double doors, this massive slats of iron, colored in all these wild dyes and stained glass.
Is the apple that she's holding, is it glowing too?
No, no. Other than with the paint that it is painted with, which is a beautiful mix of varied colors.
It's a window.
Door.
Okay, it just looks like stained glass.
Yeah,
are there
it's
windows?
there are not. It's sort of it's a wild mix of designs and patterns. It looks like an Escher painting kind of. Where
Ah,
one part will be like this cathedral, like holy symbol, and the other part will be this like realism painting, and the other part will be this like a mix of airbrushed dyes and stuff. It's this wild, eccentric wash of colors, but when you step back and look at it, you see this beautiful, serene painting.
Holy shit! Look, so if how low are all of the paintings? Is it like covering the whole door, or is it
Covering
like
the whole door.
is
so?
there no doorknob or a
No,
knocker?
nope, just these two big slats of metal kind of sticking out, shaped like doors. Appears
Okay,
to
What
just
is?
be
I'm gonna
pushed
What
touch
is?
the
into it.
metal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
As you touch the metal, the painting before the door opens starts slowly coalescing, moving, coming together, form a great circle of wild colors and from outside of this painted gateway that's been almost drained, like the fucking Page Master. You guys ever see that movie? Um,
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yes.
it's all been kind of drained into the circular gateway. From outside of it, steps inside. So you guys, an enormous warhorse trots out, strong and proud. From atop the horse, it's an awe-inspiring knight with a huge wooden lance and a wand in the other hand. The knight has burned and blackened skin, burned twigs for hair, clawed hands and feet that resemble twisting roots. Pupilless red eyes gleam in their sockets with a hellish green flame, and her hair rises and falls like living fire.
Step in
Two
front of the fish boy.
Two enormous hawks fly out of the portal, both dark smoke gray, with talons that gleam in the gentle light. They take to the air near the high ceiling and begin swirling in a circular pattern. This great knight, a perversion of the painting that she just stepped out of, is dark and dire looking, her pupilless red eyes glaring at you. Her split wooden mouth, marionette-like, seemingly unreal. All this sort of kind of like wood twisted root and wood and natural conglomeration of things, creating this humanoid form on this giant warhorse. Uh, he opens her slit puppet mouth, says, "Next time."
Ah,
I,
awesome.
I couldn't find a good picture to save my life, but it's
Get
kind of like this. And I couldn't fucking upload a picture of a fucking hawk because the Roll20 was being weird. But you see, she's on this great warhorse, and she has this weird natural armor and this huge wooden lance. Hawks are high above.
Did you put it in roll 20?
Yeah.
Up, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
showing up now.
The best that he could come up with.
yeah, yeah. It's always hard to find a specific. I guess I could use AI and try to get it to make it for me.